This is the continuation of the preceding module. To compute the definite integral of a function, we will use the fundamental theorem of calculus discussed on the previous video lesson. Recall the known theorem FTC. If f is continuous on the closed interval AB and big F is any antiderivative of f on AB, then the integral of f of x dx from a to b is equal to the big F of b minus big F of a. We will now proceed to the example in evaluating definite integral using this theorem. Evaluate the integral of 3x squared dx from 2 to 5. First, we find an antiderivative of 3x squared. Using the technique in antidifferentiation, we have this. The integral of 3x squared dx is equal to 3x power 2 plus 1 all over 2 plus 1 plus c. Simplifying, we have x cubed plus c. Take note that 3x squared is our small f and x cubed plus c is the big F. Now, we will apply the FTC. Using the fundamental theorem of calculus, the integral of 3x squared dx from 2 to 5 is equal to the big F of the upper bound, which is 5, minus the big F of the lower bound, which is 2. Using the function big F x cubed plus c, then we will compute for the big F of 5 and the big F of 2. For the F of 5, we have 5 cubed plus c. And for the F of 2, we have 2 cubed plus c. After simplifying the result, our answer is 117. What happened to our constant c? We just cancelled the positive c and the negative c. Observe that the constant of integration does not matter in evaluating the definite integral. So we can omit the plus c in our solutions. The conventional way of writing the solution of big F of b minus big F of a is denoted by this notation. The big F of b minus the big F of a is equal to the big F of x from a to b. In this way, we will just simply get the function big F and evaluate the lower and the upper bound. In our first example, the small f is 3x squared and the big F is x cubed plus c. We will just simply omit the c, so we have x cubed for the big F. So the integral of 3x squared dx from 2 to 5 using the conventional way is equal to x cubed from 2 to 5. So we copy the x cubed twice, x cubed minus x cubed. For the first x cubed, which is the upper bound, so that becomes 5 cubed minus, for the second x cubed, the lower bound, that is 2 cubed. 5 cubed is 125 and 2 cubed is 8. The difference between 125 and 8 is 117. For the rest of the examples, we will be using the conventional way in evaluating the definite integral. In the second example, evaluate the integral of 2x minus 4 dx from 0 to 5. The small f is 2x minus 4 and the big F or the antiderivative of the small f is equal to 2x power 1 plus 1 all over 1 plus 1 minus 4x. And its simplified form is x squared minus 4x. By using the conventional way, this expression is equal now to x squared minus 4x from 0 to 5. Substituting the upper bound, we have 5 squared minus 4 times 5 minus substituting the lower bound, 0 squared minus 4 times 0. 5 squared minus 4 times 5 is 25 minus 20 or 5. And 0 squared minus 4 times 0 is 0. 5 minus 0 is 5. Therefore, the integral of this function from 0 to 5 is equal to 5. Next, we will evaluate the integral of e power 3x dx from 0 to 2. The function f is e power 3x, so our big F is equal to e power 3x over 3. Why we have over 3? Because this is the derivative of our exponent 3x. And by getting the numerical coefficient, this is similar to 1/3 times e power 3x. So the integral now of e power 3x dx from 0 to 2 is equal to 1/3 e power 3x from 0 to 2. By substitution, we have 1/3 e power 3 times 2 minus 1/3 e power 3 times 0 for the lower bound. For the upper bound, that is 1/3 e power 6 minus the lower bound, which is 1/3 e power 0. And e power 0 is equal to 1, so 1/3 times 1 is 1/3. Therefore, the final answer is 1/3 e power 6 minus 1/3. And for the fourth given, evaluate the integral of x power 5 over 2 minus x cubed over 2 dx from -1 to 1. The small f is x power 5 over 2 minus x cubed over 2. And to get the function of the big F, we will get the integral of the small f. X power 5 over 2 is the same as 1/2 x power 5. And x cubed over 2 is the same as 1/2 x cubed. And by applying the anti-differentiation, we have 1/2 times x power 5 plus 1 over 5 plus 1. And the other one, 1/2 times x power 3 plus 1 over 3 plus 1. Simplifying, that is 1/2 times x power 6 over 6. And 1/2 times x power 4 over 4. 1/2 times x power 6 over 6 is x power 6 over 12. And 1/2 times x power 4 over 4 is x power 4 over 8. Combining this fraction, we will get the least common denominator, and that is equal to 24. So we have 24 divided by 12 is 2. 2 times x power 6 is 2x power 6. 24 divided by 8 is 3. 3 times x power 4 is 3x power 4. To evaluate this expression, we have 2x power 6 minus 3x power 4 over 24 from -1 to +1. For the upper bound, that is 2 times 1 power 6 minus 3 times 1 power 4 over 24. 1 power 6 is 1 and 1 power 4 is also 1. So we have 2 times 1 minus 3 times 1 over 24, or simply 2 minus 3 over 24. For the lower bound, we have 2 times -1 power 6 minus 3 times -1 power 4 over 24. -1 raised to the 6th power is +1. And so with -1 raised to 4th power is still +1. So that becomes 2 times 1 minus 3 times 1 over 24. And that is equal to 2 minus 3 over 24. The minuend and the subtrahend are equal. Therefore, their difference is 0. In evaluating the definite integral, you can use your calculator. Just press this icon, encode the lower and the upper bound, as well as the function f, and it will directly give you the answer. For the 4 examples that I have presented a while ago, these are the values using the calculator. To compute the integral of the function using the substitution, we have to follow these steps. First, assign the function u. Find du. Set the neutral function or the NF. This is the reciprocal of your du. This will be multiplied later to the whole integral expression. Apply the cancellation rule and integrate. And lastly, substitute the limit. Evaluate the integral of 2x times the 5th power of x squared plus 1 dx from 0 to 1. We will let u equals x squared plus 1. Therefore, the du over dx is 2x. By cross multiplication, du is equal to 2x dx. And the nf, which is the reciprocal of du, is equal to 1 over 2x dx. We multiply the nf to the whole integral expression. So we have 1 over 2x dx times the integral of the integrand from 0 to 1. We cancel the 2x of the nf and the integrand as well as the dx. Multiplying the remainder 1 and the remainder of the integrand, we have the integrand of x squared plus 1 raised to the 5th power from 0 to 1. Take note that this is in the form u power 5. since u is equal to x squared plus 1. And by the rule of anti-differentiation, that is equal to u power 5 plus 1 over 5 plus 1, which is now equal to u power 6 over 6. We plug in the function u, so we have x squared plus 1 power 6 over 6 from 0 to 1. By substitution for the upper bound, that is now equal to 1 squared plus 1 raised to the 6th power over 6. And for the lower bound, 0 squared plus 1 raised to the 6th power over 6. For the upper bound, 1 squared plus 1 is 2. 2 raised to power 6 is 64. So we have 64 over 6. For the lower bound, 0 squared plus 1 is 1, and 1 raised to the 6th power is 1. So we have 1/6. The equation becomes 64 over 6 minus 1 over 6. We can combine these two fractions and just copy the common denominator. 64 minus 1 over 6 is 63 over 6. Since the common factor between 63 and 6 is 3, then we will divide the numerator and the denominator by 3. 63 divided by 3 is 21, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. Therefore, the simplified answer here is 21 over 2. This is the complete solution for example number 2. Evaluate the integral of x times the square root of x squared minus 9 dx from 3 to 5. We let u equals x squared minus 9, and our neutral function is 1 over 2x dx. We multiply this neutral function to the expression. We cancel out x and dx. So the remainder is 1/2 the integral of the square root of x squared minus 9 from 3 to 5. Rewriting this into an exponential form, that becomes 1/2 times the integral of x squared minus 9 raised to 1/2 power from 3 to 5. That means to say, we will get first the integral of the integrand and multiply 1/2 to it. Take note that we are now in the form the integral of u power 1/2, and this is equal to 2/3 u power 3 over 2. Multiplying now 1/2 and the integral, so we have 1/2 times 2 over 3. The u is x squared minus 9 raised to 3 over 2. Multiplying 1/2 and 2/3 is 1/3. 1/3 times x squared minus 9 raised to 3 over 2 from 3 to 5. For our substitution, focus first for the upper bound. The upper bound is 5, so we have 1/3 times 5 squared minus 9 raised to 3 over 2. 5 squared is 25 minus 9, the answer is 16. So we have 1/3 times 16 raised to 3 over 2. Rewriting 16 power 3 over 2 into a radical form, that is equal to the square root of 16 cubed. 16 cubed is equal to 4096, and the square root of 4096 is 64. So for the upper bound, we have that 1/3 times 64. Proceed now to the lower bound. The lower bound is 3, so that is 1/3 times 3 squared minus 9 raised to 3 over 2. 3 squared minus 9 is 0. 0 raised to 3 over 2 is 0. 0 times 1/3 is 0. And for this given, the final answer is 1/3 times 64 is 64 over 3. We will now proceed to the area of the plane region. Recall the following assumptions for Riemann sum. And since the limit of Riemann sums as n approaches to positive infinity is the definite integral, then it follows that these are also the assumptions for definite integral. Compute the area of the region under the curve y equals x squared minus 4x plus 5 from x equals -1 to x equals +3. This is the graph of the function y. It is a positive function since the graph is above the x-axis. And the area that we are referring to is the shaded region bounded by the graph itself, x equals -1, the left endpoint, x equals 3, the right endpoint, and the x-axis. From the given, the function f is x squared minus 4x plus 5. To get the antiderivative of this function, or the big F, we have this x power 2 plus 1 over 2 plus 1 minus 4x power 1 plus 1 over 1 plus 1 plus 5x. X cubed over 3 minus 4x squared over 2 plus 5x. We can simplify the second term, and that is now equal to x cubed over 3 minus 2x squared plus 5x. From the given, the integral of x squared minus 4x plus 5x dx from negative 1 to 3 is equal to x cubed over 3 minus 2x squared plus 5x from negative 1 to 3. We will now do the substitution. We will focus first for the upper bound. That is 3 cubed over 3 minus 2 times 3 squared plus 5 times 3. 3 cubed over 3 is 27 over 3. 3 squared is 9 times 2 is negative 18. And 5 times 3 is 15. 9 minus 18 plus 15, and that is equal to 6. For the lower bound, negative 1 cubed over 3 minus 2 times negative 1 squared plus 5 times negative 1. Negative 1 cubed is negative 1 over 3. Negative 1 squared is 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. And 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. Negative 2 and negative 5 is negative 7. Distributing the negative to the negative 1/3 and negative 7, that becomes positive 1/3 and positive 7. Combining 6 and 7, that is 13 plus 1/3. To combine these two numbers, we will get the least common denominator, which is 3. 3 divided by 1, 3 times 13 is 39. 3 divided by 3 is 1, times 1 is 1. 39 plus 1 is 40 over 3. And when you get the approximate value of 40 over 3, that is approximately equal to 13.33 square units. In this problem, do not forget to include the unit since we are after the area of the region. For our second problem, find the area bounded by the curve y equals 4 minus x squared from x equals negative 2 and x equals 2. This is the graph of the function. Since we assume that the function is positive, then we will only focus on the region bounded by the x-axis. That is from the x-axis going above but inside the graph of y equals 4 minus x squared. From the problem, if we will rewrite this into an integral notation, this is the integral of 4 minus x squared dx from negative 2 to positive 2. The small f is 4 minus x squared, and the big F is 4x minus x cubed over 3. The integral of 4 minus x squared dx from negative 2 to positive 2 is equal to 4x minus x cubed over 3 from negative 2 to positive 2. After the substitution, so the result is 32 over 3 or approximately 10.67 square units.